Marvel's What If? We're talking about it. Come on inside.
What's up, everybody? Rob and Chris here from the Jersey Comic Room. Today we were talking Marvel's What If. The first episode came out, and it's the one we've all been waiting for. It's Peggy Carter as the new Captain America. Well, really, it's Captain Carter in this episode here.
Not Captain Britain?
Not Captain Britain, which I thought they were going to do, because, like, her shield and her outfit is all British, you know, flag-themed.
All British. They came back.
It's all British.
They took it over. They took over again.
The British are coming. The British are coming.
They already came.
Oh, my God. At least somebody better wipe after them.
You're nasty.
I know. The first thing I wanted to touch about was we saw a little Uatu the Watcher, right? He's setting up the premise, essentially. Like, these are the stories I merely watch. I can neither interact or intervene. I must not, I cannot, and I will not. And it was kind of cool to set that mystery around everything, kind of like make it feel grander than it actually was. And this first episode, to me, I enjoyed it a lot, Chris. I like seeing Captain Carter, like, oh, her staying down. That one little decision changed everything completely.
Yeah.
Seeing Steve Rogers inside the suit and then dealing with the whole mindset of a woman being in power, especially during that time where sexism is at an all-time high. And, you know, the guy taking credit for it afterwards, like, yeah, it was my decision to make a woman do this. And I'm like, you chauvinistic pig, right? But the events of the episode, it was pretty much like Captain America, the first Avenger, except there was more tentacles at the end of it, which was fun.
For all the weirdos out there.
And I was watching the episode, and I was kind of wondering how they're going to bring her back. And it was like through the Tesseract portal. So it was nice little changes. Overall, I enjoyed it. It wasn't too crazy, but I think this is exactly what we need to start the What If, and I think from here on out, it's going to get crazier, weirder, and wilder.
Yeah, no, I agree, Rob. I really liked it. A lot of people thought the pacing was a little too fast, that I've been hearing and hearing whispers. But one thing I think everyone loves is Peggy Carter as this Captain Carter moniker in this What If title. I think she was phenomenal. I love that Haley Atwell came back and did the voice. I love that.
Yeah.
You know, Sebastian Stan was back. Jeffrey Wright in the beginning as Uatu was phenomenal. His voice is like, I guess, the new generation of like the James Earl Jones voice, and it's
soothing.
It's soothingly phenomenal, and he is Uatu, the ultimate voyeur on the edge of space and time, watching everything and anything happen. So I was so happy to just hear him kind of start narrating and seeing kind of like the glass pieces. Also kind of giving us that scope, like you were saying before, right? Like, there's so many things that are possibilities, and we've only seen one like chip of the glass, as they say. So that was cool. I liked the little butterfly effect where Peggy stayed and everyone stayed, and that was the cause. Howard Stark being more involved was great. Dominic Cooper came back and did that voice.
He also made the first Iron Man, right? So that also changes kind of like Iron Man's legacy. Like, if Tony Stark in this world, right? Which, I don't know how deep they're going to get into it, but it was just cool to see, we got an Iron Man so much earlier because of Captain Carter, which was nice.
It was awesome. And to also see when Peggy gets in the actual machine to get the serum, it is shot for shot, frame for frame, the exact same as when Steve does it.
Yeah.
Including like Howard Stark's eyeglasses get pulled down when it opens up. She's in like that same pose. And I just thought that was lovely too. And yeah, absolutely. I thought you nailed it. The fact that she had to not only deal with being a super soldier and trying to get into the war the way Steve was like trying to get into the war and not just some puppet for like, you know, selling war bonds, but the fact that she's a woman in the 40s, right? And the line kept coming up, "You're lucky to be in the room." And I loved how she got to turn that back on Commander Douchebag halfway through, where she's like, "You're lucky to be in the room." And I was like, so that was cool. Love that, you know, scene also where she's hitting the bag just like Steve in the beginning of Avengers where he's out of time. Just love the parallels. And I like that it wasn't the same as far as, all right, I'm following this. We know the beats of First Avenger, but it's not the same where like she's going to go down in a plane and go into ice or something. They changed it up where obviously Red Skull is trying to get this Hydra god monster through a portal from somewhere. A lot of theories on what the hell that thing is.
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu, and then the South Park characters coming too. You know, there's a lot of theories. It also looks like the thing from Star Wars that eats Boba Fett. The Sarlacc. But it's a bunch of like, you know, just kind of otherworld space stuff. Who knows? We might see it again in like one of the Guardians What Ifs. Would be cool to kind of see it.
I think one of the bigger reasons that we got the big difference in change, right? That tentacle monster was because it's animated, right? You could do all these crazy things animated, and like you could get away with it, and it just feels normal, right? Especially with adult animation at an all-time high in nerd culture, right? Everybody's watching, from anime to animated TV shows on Netflix and Hulu and TV, right? So like we're
Netflix mix.
Exactly. We're all accustomed to it. So we're like, we see these things and we're like, this is awesome. We want more of this, right?
Yeah,
which brings me to my question. We want more of this.
Yeah.
Captain Carter. Do we see more of this character? There's been rumors that people want her in a movie. We might see more of her in future What If episodes, which would be cool because like you could have a What If like different Avenger team together, and like Captain Carter happens to be on that team, which would work because it's in that same kind of universe. Or do you think this is a one and done character, and like Marvel has so much to go through, they don't even have time to touch on Captain Carter anymore?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think it has to do with, one, the fan demand, right? Like the best thing about What If now is they could just throw any kind of kooky idea at us and see how the fans respond. And if the fans are like, oh my God, I love this, they're probably down the line going to be like, hey, getting a lot of good feedback from this.
Yeah.
Like, this is something we should look at, especially since Haley Atwell's clearly down to play this character continuously. There's a rumor that she might even cameo as this character in Multiverse of Madness and Doctor Strange 2. So
I would like that.
That could be something where she's now in live action, or, Austin Powers lingo, cross-mogination. And then you get that lost period. I think everyone wants the Steve Rogers and Peggy team up when he's putting back the Infinity Stones during like in that Endgame part. That would be that ultimate nerdgasm right there. But yeah, I think there's a huge chance we can see this character again. I'm sure the cosplay world is already, going nuts with building these suits and these new costumes. So I can't see a character like her that, one, she's familiar, right? We've seen her since the beginning of Phase 1, since Captain America. And she had her own show. Haley Atwell got her own show as Agent Carter. Yep. It's a character we've seen in the legacy of her niece as well in Agent 13 and Sharon Carter. So it's totally, in my opinion, and I think you'd agree with me, that it's a character not only that we could see again in the animation based on how she came back through the portal in basically Avengers 1, the same way Loki did, but possibly even with Haley Atwell coming back to the universe as this character through the multiverse now.
So I am more on board with the animation. I think we can see her doing more animation like episodes, or they could do a What If movie. That's fine, because then they could get into like the DC animated shows, movies about Elseworld stuff. They could do that and expand it and even more. So maybe we get her follow up in a new movie, the animated that's on Disney Plus. I'm okay with that. Do I think that we should get her live action? Outside of the cameo in Multiverse of Madness, I think that'd be great. I think that'd be a fun little thing. Possibly, right? If that's true. I don't think we need her in the live action. I think there's so much more we have in the live action that, like, if we go back to Peggy Carter live action getting a movie, we have so much else. You're like, all right, why are we having her? Why not Steve? That means we want to see her and Steve together, right? And, like, you're still stuck in the Captain America thing where, like, we're almost like trying to move away from it and forward it to a new thing. Like Captain America set our roots, which is fantastic. We need to move forward. We need to let Captain Marvel have a turn. We need to have Miss Marvel and all these other new characters that we haven't touched upon yet. So having Captain Carter essentially a legacy character for Captain America, where we're trying to move away from the Captain America moniker, I think there's more injustice and disservice to the MCU, creatively speaking. That's just my hot take.
Interesting.
In live action form.
In live action, so I agree and disagree on points. So I agree that I don't think we need her as a main character in the MCU. Don't hate me. I just agree with Rob on that one. I think the focus is on Sam Wilson being Captain.
True, very true.
I don't think we're moving away. I disagree. I don't think we're moving away from the legacy of Cap or Cap itself, because I think there's still a lot of Steve Rogers questions, and whether it's where is Old Man Cap? Is he alive? Is he dead? That's still a question that we have in the MCU at this moment. We have John Walker, who's still around. We have Bucky, who's still around. We have Isaiah Bradley in the background. That's a massive story. So do I think there's room for a Captain Carter? Yes. I don't think it's a main character the way Sam Wilson and Bucky are going to be.
Okay.
But as far as cameo roles, guest appearances in live action, I'm totally on board. If she cameos in the Multiverse of Madness and it's her and a bunch of other What If stuff in there, even if it's as like you know, he's flying through the dimensions kind of like he did in the first one.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. If there's a cameo or like some weird video where Fury's like, how the hell is this happening? And they're still trying to figure out the multiverse. And he sees like Peggy doing where she's like flipping trucks again, which was one of the best scenes.
Oh, that was good. I like that.
I'm totally for it. But I agree, Rob. I think everything they're doing in animation right now with What If, this is, like you said, their DC Elseworld story. And the way they're doing stuff with animation, and the animation looks great. Looks like it's a very unique style. They did some great lighting effects with black and white to kind of add dimension to the character as well when it came to just that old-timey like 40s feel.
Yeah.
So I think they're in a good spot with What If. I enjoyed the episode greatly. I'm not in love with the episode. It was, you know, a couple of like choppy pacing issues. I think they tried to cram a lot into about like 35 minutes. But I think they're on the right track, and I'm also very excited to see what they do next with other characters.
Well, guys, that is our reaction / review to the first episode of Marvel's What If with Captain Carter. Let us know down in the comments below what you think of Captain Carter and what you think of this What If series. Are you watching this every week like we are?
And guys, thanks so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, like. It really helps the channel out a lot. If you're brand new, subscribe and turn on notifications. We are doing What If every week. You don't want to miss any more episodes of What If. Make sure you go check out other videos on the channel. We cover a lot of stuff here. Check us out on our Instagram and Twitter at Jersey Comic Crew. And as always, I'm Chris Heller. That's Rob Moran. We're the Jersey Comic Crew, and we will see you next time.